All right. Welcome to Thin Line Believers podcast, Brennan. It took us a little while to get started because, man, it's been way too long since I got to talk to you and especially, see your face like this. This is great. So I'll let you talk a little bit about yourself, but, you and I actually met. I was doing the math here not too long ago. What has it been? 17 years ago. Almost 17 years ago now. Yeah. And you poor guy, you ended up in the middle of nowhere in a small little redneck town doing was it an internship?
John Day, Oregon.
Yeah, with the Forest Service out there. And I just so happened to be some long-haired goateed kid fighting fire. And it was a good time.
It was. I got to be next to you in fire school. That was a fun time.
Everybody wanted to hang out with you though, because you could do a backflip. So everybody's like, do a backflip. So you did a backflip.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Can you do a backflip now?
No.
Are you too?
I don't move that way anymore.
Neither does Ronnie Coleman, but whatever. Awesome. Well, the reason I wanted to ask you on today, and we talked about this beforehand, but you take part in an entirely different type of fitness than what we've been talking about on this podcast here. We talk about taking care of yourself, and part of that, a large part of that really is a physical fitness, and that helps us get through, traumatic incidents and things like that. And so I wanted to let you offer your viewpoint on fitness because though it's not necessarily, you're not necessarily unique in going down that road, but I think you're unique where you come from. And I'm sure, each one who goes down that path is unique in their approach to it. So I'm excited to hear how you do what you do. Yeah. So, and where you decide to be modest, I'm going to pitch in and actually tell the truth. So anyway, why don't you tell us about yourself, Brandon?
So now Brandon Chaison, let's say raised in the Midwest, but by way of the South, grew up in the South, big chunk of my life. Husband, father to 3 beautiful girls, and, strong in my faith. Continue to look for areas to grow every single day, not weekly, not monthly, daily by the minute, looking for opportunities to serve always. Big into health and wellness and fitness, especially, bodybuilding. As I'm a coach for bodybuilding, I'm a pro bodybuilder and competitor, and I'm also a judge for the sport. And, that's a little bit of my back, dual certified with nutritionists and nutrition and training, many years of studies and clinics and whatnot. So this is a part of my life that I've always taken serious. I've been in some type of athletic realm or fitness realm or something since I was 4 or 5 years old. So it's been there for a while. And Michigan State University grad, engineer by background. And I'll just say this is a pleasure being here. So.
Yeah, I will say that I've never seen you out of shape. And for some reason, God has given you a lot of gifts. I've seen you play the guitar, play the piano. For some reason, you can sing.
I try.
You're one of those people that, it's easy to hate, but it's also easy to love.
I forgot. And we talked about this. I was a firefighter, and I was you. I want to say you were on the rival crew.
I was too
But
stupid to know what rivalries were, so I don't even know about that. So.
no, yeah, I mean, yeah, music is a big part of my life. I actually play on the worship team at church.
I
My
forgot to
girls
mention
love it.
drums. You do that too. Yeah.
I drum on the worship team, and so
Hmm.
music is a big part of my life. Languages, traveling, that's what we do. So
Nice. Good. Well, let's get the meat and potatoes because I like meat and potatoes. In case you couldn't
yeah,
tell.
I did. They're good for
Yeah.
you. We can talk about that.
Well, I hope so because that's about the only thing I eat anymore. Okay. Let's get into your background of fitness. How did you end up where you are now? How did you go from what you were as a quasi kid when I knew you to where you are now?
Well, let's say this. I've always had a competitive nature. Always been into sports. Bodybuilding came around when I started getting really curious about the dynamics of training, and nutrition, and back to it. I felt like I was always physically fit, um, between football and track and whatnot. So I wanted to adventure into the world of bodybuilding, kind of give me another challenge, have you, if I had some of the tools. And I really wanted to take it as far as learn the tools and still apply them to myself and others. Really get in tune with my body, understand the discipline, understand the consistency. So years back, I, told my wife, I think we were engaged at the time, and told some friends, and I said, I'm going to do bodybuilding. I'm actually going to fully do it. I'm around them. I've trained some of those guys. I'm going to get into it. And next thing you know, it kind of just took off. And I was kind of ingrained in the bodybuilding community and culture, and fascinated with how you can metamorphosize the body, and shape it the way you want, kind of like tuning a car, So it really was just that. I've always wanted something to give me a challenge, competitive nature, and I like picking things up and putting them down. So they kind of went hand in hand,
Yeah. How long ago did you start competing? When was your first?
Oh, I would say years back. I would say my first real show started in 2015, 2016, around that time frame. Bigger shows. I wouldn't say anything small. That was years ago. But yeah, about 2015, 2016, I had been around folks for a while, and that was those years of when I said, all right, I'm jumping in this, and I'm actually going to jump in and go at it. So I guess about, 6, 7 years going after it now. Yeah.
Nice. And at what point did you achieve professional status?
Second year, 2016. Went pro, took on some shows, and actually I joined some different orgs this past year, and on the natural realm, and became pros in those organizations too. But yeah, it was the second year of me training in the bodybuilding that I became a pro. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a blessing.
What?
Not many people not many people accomplish that. So I was blessed. So
Yeah. So I had a question and I lost it, and I'm going to find it again. Oh yeah, that's what it was. How much time do you devote to that now? Because I mean, obviously you're driven, when you set your mind to something, obviously you go all in. How much time do you devote to that now in the gym? And then And then, I want to talk about the nutrition aspect, because I think that's probably the hardest for most people.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to get into that. What I devote to myself personally, or the people that I either coach or help, or
Well,
all the
first, you
above?
personally. Yeah, you personally. What time do you put into your own fitness?
Um, about 2.5 to 3 hours every day. And that's not gym. That's not always gym. The gym, anywhere from 45 minutes of a deload day or easy day to it could be up to 2 hours in the gym. Now, that doesn't mean I'm constantly go, 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 go. I'm taking rest time. I'm letting my body recover, so I can keep my intensity for the next set, things of that nature. It also depends if I'm in season or out of season. But the reason
Mhm.
why I say 2.5, 3 hours is because what people fail to realize sometimes in the sport of bodybuilding, or what makes it better or easier, is there's periods throughout the day that you take a mental break, or you set yourself up mentally. You do meditation and you focus and hone in on what you got planned, whether that's your food, nutrition, what are some of the good things that you want to reflect on. You want to, plan out or visually map your workout before you get there. I do that. So in some way, shape, or form, that's about the time frame that's dedicated of my life per day, on average to bodybuilding.
Okay.
I know some folks that it's the whole day. That's their life. They live and breathe it. But like I said, I got a wife, kids, job. It's you got to balance it. So
Yeah. And then I'm curious, how does your faith work into all that?
I would never be able to do what I do if it wasn't for my faith. Um,
Hmm.
that's a really loaded question. It shouldn't be loaded, but in the world of bodybuilding, I mean, think about the book of Proverbs, and seeking wisdom, and 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 understanding, everything in your surroundings, constantly trying to feed yourself of what's not the good answer, the good approach, but what's the best one.
Hmm.
That is bodybuilding. Sometimes, my faith keeps me in a realm where, let's say, for instance, might sound weird to some people. Maybe it doesn't to me, but I thank God after every single workout I have, literally as I leave the gym. And I've been doing that for a long time now, because some people aren't even capable of making it to the gym. Some people don't have the capability to even afford a gym, let alone have the physical capacity to be even able to do half the things that I do. I don't take it for granted. My faith keeps me in discipline. My faith allows me to remember my consistency in life. And also, the biggest thing that my faith ties into bodybuilding is my ability to serve others. It's one of the biggest reasons why I became a coach, a mentor, a judge, because what good is acquiring knowledge if you don't apply it?
Hmm.
If you don't give that wisdom to others? God's presented me with a gift in some way, shape, or form. I should be able to use it and help other people with it. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that for sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and on top of that, it seems to me that it's an act of worship, like the Puritans would, everything that they did was an act of worship. And, and I think that, you do that on the, in the gym or on the competition floor, and we are supposed to do that in our day to day. So that's good to hear.
It does give me a platform. It really does. I mean, it lets people in, especially people that are curious about health and wellness and fitness and nutrition. It kind of opens the doors to some conversations, even, back to you say worshiper, maybe in a church related manner, but, so I can start having those conversations of, if somebody asks me what drives me, and I can always point it back to, my relationship with Christ, my relationship with God, the things that were given to me that I don't take for granted, my gifts that I should share with the world. I mean, by all means, I'm not a Ronnie Coleman, but, I still do recognize that I'm in a particular percentile or class that is very small than most. So,
yeah, you could be Ronnie Coleman. You're just not using the right chemical compound.
Yeah, I know.
You got to work.
I didn't order Amazon Prime, so
there you go. Yeah. That's awesome. So, no, that's good, because in any position that we're in, it's the Bible says to be prepared to give an answer for the hope that's within us. So, looks like you're doing just that. So,
First Peter chapter 3 verse 5. Yeah.
I don't know. Good work. Good work, you. I can quote it. I can't cite it.
I think that's right. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. That was a squirrel moment. So, let's see. Are you ready to get into nutrition? Because I'm not the only one that's curious about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's talk about it. So, let's just say day to day, not necessarily a cutting season for you. What is your focus on what you put in your body?
I take 80-20. It's the typical 80-20 rule. 80% clean, focusing on micronutrients, foods with good magnesium, vitamin B, potassium, iron, you name it, beta carotene, the whole 9 yards. As far as fueling my system, getting good sodium in. People are afraid of salt. Don't be afraid of salt unless you have hypertension. So getting enough water in. I don't live a sedentary life, so I force myself to at least get, I don't actually have to force it, but to at least get a gallon of water in. A lot of times I actually go a gallon and a half, 2 gallons. Some people think that's extreme, but on a normal basis, I typically will eat about, it doesn't change off season to end season, honestly. The amount changes, but I eat if I eat 5 times a day, that means it was a rush day. But a lot of times I'll eat between 6 to 8 times a day.
Okay.
So. Now,
so you got to plan that out pretty well, don't you?
I actually don't. I used to, but being as it's been such a habit for so long now, the plan's already ingrained. I kind of know my go-tos when it comes to food. Actually, funny, I posted a video one time where somebody called me out and said, "Can you really eyeball 4 ounces of chicken?" And I had the scale and I weighed, like that's how long I've been doing it. That I can eyeball food and say, like, I know how many ounces that is, what the macros are, what's in it. Not on everything, but it's just a creature of habit and staying consistent with it so long that's how it is. Yeah, I do the chicken and rice and broccoli and spinach and red meat I do potatoes and sweet potatoes, but the old school way of bodybuilding of just sticking to that, I do the egg and egg whites too. So all the staples, I get those in. But the old school way of restricted, that's not what I do. I do have a 20% rule. Like if the family wants to order pizza on a night and I can fit it into my range, my caloric intake range and macros, we eat pizza. If I want a sugar cookie, I don't have a sweet tooth, but I want a cookie, I'm going to eat a cookie. It's just all about being consistent to where you can be able to do those things without harm mentally. Because the biggest problem people think is when they do something or they put something in their body, if they're consistent, it's going to damage them. Like, oh, I took 2 steps back. That's really not the case. It's not how the body works, especially not with food. The biggest thing is just creating consistency. And that's what I do in season and off season. It's just, if I'm consistent, I don't have to shoot a moving target. So,
well, that sounds good, but I had pancakes yesterday for the first time. That's the first time I've eaten wheat in months, and I was not well.
So that's another area that I strongly advise people, and I strongly advise people, especially like that are competing, but with general population too. But I strongly advise people to add variety of food into their diet because of certain reasons like that. And it gets even worse when you're dropping caloric intake and your hormones are kind of shifting with the food that you're eating, especially like getting into a show. Well, if you go throw something in that you haven't been eating in a few months, your body is going to not really like it so much, But yeah, I mean, there's some things that I know if I ate it right now, it make my stomach hurt. So, but yeah. I try to put as much good variety foods in my diet as possible.
Okay.
Just because of those reasons. So,
I gotcha. What about caffeine?
I drink coffee. I definitely, I don't shy away from coffee. I say coffee is most people's main source of antioxidants, but caffeine's not bad. I do think that there are people out there that live and breathe caffeine, coffee, pre-workout, whatever the case is. My views, is not everybody's views, but I mean, there's studies and science behind it, but people have to wing themselves off of certain things like caffeine after extreme intake for a while. Let the system reset itself. Let your system kind of normalize. Stop stimulating it. That's kind of how I am. I have my cups of coffee, and there's sometimes I don't have any caffeine in my system for days or weeks. I don't rely on it. So that's caffeine's okay for you. There's certain foods that have caffeine in it. It's not bad, but when you're starting to get, depending on the person, I would say, when you're starting to get into the range of 5, it could depend on, it could be 300 milligrams, but 300 milligrams, 500, 600, 700, 800 milligrams of caffeine on a daily basis, you start to do things. And not to mention, if you're already living a stressful life, they even say caffeine adds to that. It can affect your sleep. It can affect your reactions. It can crash you. I tell people be careful of how much caffeine you put in your body. Try to look at the signs of when you need to pull off. So,
yeah, I was kind of curious. I mean, and I don't think I've been secretive about this. I actually cut out coffee for quite a while, and I started drinking green tea. And I know I did not eat granola, but just green tea. And the reason behind it was because I deal with anxiety on occasion, and so I was going through a real rough patch with anxiety, and my wife, God bless her, she suggested switching up for a bit just because of the amount of caffeine. And so I did, and I got to admit, it helped. So
it does. People can argue that till their face turns blue until they read the studies. But I mean, caffeine can fuel anxiety and stress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it is. So, yeah.
Walk me through your typical day.
Wake up.
I hope so.
4:30. I hope so. 4:35 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes 5:30, 6 a.m. if I'm sleeping in. Get up. I do devotional reading or some type of reading or reflection. If I don't have a meeting, because a lot of times I have meetings at about 6:30 a.m. sometimes because of the time difference that when we moved. But I cook my first meal, breakfast. And not only do I cook, majority of the time I'm cooking for my daughters too, because they're slowly rolling out of bed shortly after me. So reading, then cooking, healthy servings of hash browns, egg whites, maybe some cheese, fruit. I get my first 2 to 3 cups of water in between wake up and 7:30 in the morning. So I'm already pushing a quart by then. Then to business, to work, work, checking emails, getting things situated, get on meeting calls, see what are the fires to be put out in that day. More food, back to work. By lunchtime, I've had about 2 or 3 meals. Get work afterwards. Between my wife and I, go pick the kids up. Then that's when my gym time starts. A lot of times that's when I'm trying to do follow up. Even I do follow up throughout the day with folks that I might be helping with nutrition or lifts. But then gym time. That's when I focus. I'm driving in the car. I am planning my attack. My program's probably already there for me. And I get to the gym, talk to the folks, but then I get in my zone. I take every day, every gym workout probably take about 10, 15 minutes to visualize, kind of get quiet, de-stimulate, and then heavily stimulate myself. Like not with pre-workout or anything, but like, I might cut on a song to get me going. Hit the gym, hit it with intensity. Every rep counts. That's my motto on that. Get home, cook more food, make more food. You're seeing a recurring theme here with the food. Chat with the girls, relax for 30 minutes. That's kind of like my level out period. My wife helps with that. It's kind of just like, I'll be around you, I'll entertain, but let me come back down. It's been a long day by that time because it's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And get the girls dinner if they already haven't. Let the dogs out, feed the dogs. Everybody comes in. We read bedtime stories every night. And every night we say prayers. And we talk about what we're thankful for and what we need forgiveness for. They go up. My wife and I, we chill, discuss things, discuss what's happening in the world, watch TV, whatever the case is, hit the bed, get my last couple of cups of water if need be, and repeat.
Sweet.
Nothing extremely fancy.
When's your next competition?
First show should be August 27th, if not September 3rd.
Okay. And then you post any of your progress as you go along in any of this?
I do, but not often.
Okay.
And here's the reason why I don't post a lot of progress. And the reason why I kind of took a lot of that off even my social media. At the end of the day, when you're in off season, you don't look like you do when you're on stage.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to want to post, as human beings, we want to post the best, the prettiest. That's not really what it is. We want to post these fancy workouts. No, the workouts should not be fancy. If they're fancy and whatever the case is, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. You might not be doing it to the best ability that you should be. Mm-hmm. The quote that's always there, basics with intensity. I tell that to a lot of folks. Do the simple things. Master those. Progress pics. Yeah, I do progress pics. I send them to my coach. I might post them here and there. But at the end of the day, see my journey. Like, look, ask me questions, look at my journey. Progress pics not going to do anything. So I've kind of dialed back posting progress pics of myself, to each their own. Everybody is, happy with their journey. But I just don't do it a lot because at the end of the day, the look I care about is the look when I'm on the stage.
Sure.
So I'm not saying as I don't down anybody else for doing that. I love seeing people's transformations and progress throughout, especially when they're in season. In season, I might tend to post a little bit more progress pics, but yeah, it's just you'll see me when you see me on stage. I mean, it's and the biggest thing that I've come to find out, especially being a pro or going to shows, I don't like giving somebody else I might compete against a one-up ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I didn't ask you this beforehand, but do you do any virtual coaching?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So if we had somebody that's interested in that, because we do have coaching through a buddy of mine, Will Brinza, and that's the kind of the CrossFit side, mm-hmm. right? The functional fitness, he would call it.
Yeah.
And so this is great. So you would offer something like that too, correct?
Absolutely. I own my own coaching business. I partner with quite a few other people and coaches and trainers, whether that be a Muscle Initiative or Conquer Fit. And yeah, I've been, I can be reached. We have a platform, business, everything. So yeah, I definitely coach people. And the thing about it is I do like face-to-face. So even with the folks that I've coached virtually, I still, in some way, shape, or form, eventually try to see them. It's all about personal networking and connection. I don't want to just be a person behind a computer, So yeah, absolutely. I do virtual coaching. Yeah.
Tell us how to find you.
So, you can always
how
reach
do we
out.
Find B Chase? B Chase.
Yeah, B Chase. So there is Instagram, B._Chaison, Chaison. So there's the B Chase. Facebook as well. QC Wellness and Fitness. That's the LLC. Also, you can just you can email me personally. This is going to be a long email, but I'll spell it out. It's CHA. I'm going to do C as in Charlie, H as in Hector, A as in Alpha, I as in India, S as in Sam, O as in Oscar, N as in Nancy, followed by Brandon, BRANDON, followed by M as in Matthew at gmail.com. So those are personal inquiries. And you can always find me on any one of those platforms. So I do have I'm getting a new business email. So I'll definitely have that available too. So those are the three areas you can connect with me. And my thing is, I tell everybody is, I don't always claim my way to be the best way. I actually do not claim myself to be an expert. Some people will say that. Some people say that about themselves. I am highly educated in the game. I've been doing it for years. I think we all have ways to continue to learn and grow. And I will always try to give the best results and the best avenue for anybody. So when I say that, I have a lot of networks. I have a lot of folks that I help, a lot of people that I've coached, trained, given nutrition to. But also, if there's some people that need help or expertise in their areas, I know a lot of people around the United States as well, if they want one-on-one or face-to-face attention. So that's what I'll say. I appreciate you letting me promote. Just reach out. I can talk studies all day. I can talk, the latest and greatest. I can tell you, what I think you should be doing in regards to your health and fitness and nutrition. Those are the areas I strive in. And so if there's any inquiries, just let me know.
Perfect. And we'll make sure to get all that info in the show notes so that anybody who wants to get a hold of you can hopefully find something clickable. But Brandon, I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get you back on here sometime. Maybe we can get a little more specific on some different things, especially if we end up getting some feedback from this and some questions. But I know it's late where you are, so I appreciate your time and I want to be respectful of it. So anyway, again, thanks. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you, Adam.
Tell you what, before we get out of here, do you want to pray us out?
I can do that. So, dear Heavenly Father, I just want to take the chance to say thank you for bringing in such strong connections and giving me the ability to connect with Adam and others through this platform, for us to connect to others through this platform, giving different perspectives and allowing what you've blessed upon us to touch other people, to have some transparent conversations, to understand that even the world of fitness and health and nutrition, even bodybuilding, is still your doing. And I want to say I am grateful for all of what you blessed us with, showed us the grace and mercy that you continue to do. And I pray that you give us more avenues in the future and even after this for us to serve and help others as well, whether near or far. We're grateful for you. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord, and through the life, strength of Jesus Christ, I continue to praise your name. Amen.
Amen.